Got dreams of being a professional podcaster, but have no idea what you're doing?
This is impossible.
That's about to change.
A new kind of school.
Welcome to the Pod School Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. Today I am going to talk about how to sound alive when you're presenting your podcast by yourself. There is nothing natural about sitting in front of a microphone with nobody on the other side of it and trying to perform to a listener. It is bizarre and weird and awkward, and it is the easiest way to throw a blanket over the top of your personality so that you end up sounding like a wet fish. I have listened to plenty of people's shows where they are vibrant, interesting characters, but that vibrancy just gets sucked right out of them when they are doing a show. I've done an episode before on this podcast about reading and how it's the easiest way to disconnect to your audience. Go back and have a listen to that if you want to get a sense of why writing a script for your episode can really suck the life out of you. That's one thing to avoid. But one of the ways to really try and inject a bit of energy into your voice is to think about broadcasting to one person. And I mean that literally. Really think about somebody in your mind. It's bizarre how difficult it is to get energy into your voice when you don't sit across from another human being. That's completely understandable because in everyday life, we are used to adjusting our performance style to the person sitting across from us. We don't talk to ourselves usually. I do, I must admit, a lot in the car because people think you're on hands-free, but you're not really. You're just having a conversation with yourself. But for the most part, we don't talk to ourselves. So when you don't have somebody across from you that you can measure your delivery by, it can be really hard to get that same energy in your voice. And you need a bit of extra energy when you're doing a podcast so that by the time it gets to the listener, it sounds engaging. So some of the things to do is to think about that one person in your mind. Literally picture them. I do this a lot, and it's something that you do kind of naturally after you've been doing this for a long time. I think about performing to somebody because I need to think about trying to project my voice to them, trying to engage them, trying to get their attention. All of those things are really important things to think about, even if it's just you sitting at your microphone by yourself. If you find the thinking about one person thing too weird and abstract, then this might be weirder, but it can be really helpful. Put a mirror up when you are recording your podcast and do it to yourself. You will be really surprised how much of a difference it makes just seeing skin, eyes, a nose and a mouth across from you. It can make the world of difference when it comes to injecting energy in your voice. So you might feel like a dickhead and it'll look a little weird to people passing by thinking, why are you speaking into a microphone and looking at yourself in a mirror? But it works. It can be very helpful just to get a sense that you are broadcasting to someone. That's what you have to get into your bones, that feeling that you are not alone, that it is not just you sitting here by yourself, but there is somebody there on the other side. And sometimes when you're just starting out, when you're not practiced at the idea of speaking into a microphone by yourself, you literally need to see someone to get that energy into your voice. All these things will really help you up the energy in your voice, which will only help engage your audience and keep them entertained. The minute that you drop that energy is when they will get distracted and go somewhere else. So it's really important to try and do those things to get as much energy into your voice as possible. I hope that's helped you think about some ways to sound more alive when you are sitting by yourself talking to no one. As always, you can find the notes for this episode and all the others in the series at podschoolpodcast.com. If you are enjoying the show and finding the tips useful, I would love it if you could leave a review in iTunes or wherever you listen to the show. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening, and until next week, happy podcasting.
That's all for today.